Now, let's start talking about some of the background vocals. But before we do that, we need to talk about the density areas and why they're very important. So, one thing that I always do on my, all effects bus, right, is I route all of the fucking, the delay, the et cetera, et cetera. I route it to an all effects bus. This is usually good because, sometimes you're mixing for somebody or maybe you're mixing for yourself and you realize, man, I just put too much reverb and too much delay, which could possibly happen after you watch this course because now you know how to use everything. You might just want to like pull down the motherfucking fader. You know what I mean? But what I like to do is I like to put all of the delays, the reverbs all into one aux and also use this Soothe plugin. And there's a preset already made for this called Effects Group. You could use Wave Silk Vocal, any dynamic processor, or you could just use a regular fucking EQ and hear what's the nasty frequency. But it just makes the vocal sound cleaner up against all the reverbs and delays that will come together and fuck with the density areas, which we'll look at.
The teeth, yeah. She said, oh man, a bitch like you knew that. I'm thinking about calling some shooters and pressing them. I was foolish, I was negligent, I was never there. Like, who am I kidding? I miss this bitch. Plenty of fish in the sea, what they telling me. I reel them in with the melodies, but I learned my lessons, man. These bitches sure ain't shit. Yeah, these bitches sure ain't shit. Without me, she wishes she dead. Without me, she wishes she dead. Yeah, I know this fucked up, but
So if you're like 80% through with done with the mix and then like it still just feels like the vocal needs to pop out more, sometimes you don't even have to do more boosting EQ. Sometimes you just fucking round up all the goddamn effects like a cowboy, round them up like a cowboy, throw on that goddamn Soothe. And for some weird reason, um because the Valhalla is modeling vintage stuff like the plate and the micro shift and you even have this tape right here. It produces noise because that's a part of those sounds from back in the day. So I threw on an RVox, a small gate, so that the I just don't hear the noise at certain parts. When the stuff is not actually loud enough. So that's a good way of reducing noise. That's which is also going to bring more clarity to the vocal too, because that noise, that tape noise and shit like that, that low level noise is going to start to build up and take away clarity from the vocals. Okay. So yeah, this is what I want to talk about. Density areas, bro. Okay, so look, when you look at Valhalla, right? The first thing that motherfucker gonna say, look at that, look at the bottom. Sets the decay time for mid frequencies. Okay, and then you look at it over here, it's gonna set controls the decay time of high frequencies. So all frequencies they dissipate differently. High-end frequencies they dissipate faster than mid-range frequencies, but low-end frequencies they literally dissipate the slowest because they move the slowest, right? And that's important to know when you see something like the Soothe, why all of the buildup is happening in the low mid.
the teeth. Yeah, she said, oh man, a bitch like you knew that. I'm thinking about calling some shooters and pressing them. I was foolish, I was negligent, I was never there. Like, who am I kidding? I miss this bitch.
For some odd reason, there's a huge bias towards the low mid where there's just this fucking muddy buildup that's just constantly happening. And that's just the nature of the way shit works, like reverb. Even you see it right here, it sets the amount of delay before the sets the amount of time for mid frequencies. So a lot of the decay times are for the mid frequencies because the mid frequencies is the mid range, and it's probably what's going to be exciting the reverb the most. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that shit. I just wanted to let you know that's why you might want to round up all your effects together and cut that motherfucking hole in the mid range a little bit because and the reason why it's taking clarity away from the vocals when you start to use a lot of effects and shit like that. You feel me? That's just the reason why when you start using reverb and delay and it all comes together, it takes away clarity from the vocal. But as long as you have a halfway fucking decent working ears, my guy, you should be okay. Okay, even the Valhalla delay, it has fucking noise and shit like that. Okay, the pitch shifter. So yeah, that's if you have decent ears, you don't need to worry about playing around with the high dampening and the you don't got to because you already know. Okay, Nick showed me the density areas of the room reverb, the chamber reverb, the plate reverb. So I kind of already know where everything is fitting at. So you don't need to use a sidechain compressor either. Like yeah, I use that shit once in a while, but unless it's somebody who's rapping with a gunner flow, da 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 da. Oh, that's allowing that space for that reverb to swell up. You're never even gonna have the opportunity to really take advantage of it. So just pay attention to your density areas and actually like kind of fucking just EQing your shit, rolling off low end, rolling off top end, depending on how you want to go about it. I can't really help you with that. It's more like a taste thing, okay? But now let's look at our some of our background vocals that were hidden, okay? So ends.
We get fucked up, we get crossed. We don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. We get high, we get brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Never doubt my assessments. You know you.
All right. So yeah, most importantly with the ends, we want them to be very consistent. I kind of wanted these ends to bring something new to the song, which is kind of like mid-range brightness. So with my ad-libs and my background vocals, I try to get them to separate each other by the timbre. So like this shit, these sometimes I have a dark ass ad-lib and sometimes I have a bright ass double, or vice versa, a bright ass ad-lib, a dark ass double. Whatever it is, I just want to create contrast amongst my background vocals and shit like that, okay? So first thing that we are running into is our ends, and we use the fresh air.
Get fucked up, we get crossed. We don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. Get fucked up, we get crossed. We don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. We drop my fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Never.
All right, so most importantly with background vocals and ends or whatever, you just want to get rid of the redundancy, okay? So we already got a full spectrum lead vocal. We don't need all this goddamn low end coming from our background vocals. So I just mostly cut out low end, mid range, and I heard some bullshit ass harsh frequency and I pulled it out.
My fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Never doubt my assessments. You know you rocking the best away from him. That energy best all over me, yeah, yeah. Knowing I'm long enough, never not sober. Headlights and driveway, you said to come over. If I'm still fucked, don't let me leave. No more fuel. My fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. My fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions.
So best by doing these little moves to kind of get stuff to fit in. And if I would have let this harsh frequency just live on, it would have taken away clarity from the actual lead vocal. Okay, so that's how you get it fitting frequency wise. Now dynamically, you got to make it fit in. All right, so usually you got to make it fit in dynamically and frequency wise. So now I've done that with the rough EQ. Now I'm using Faraday limiter, and this is also just gonna make the fucking ends just consistent across.
My fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Never doubt my assessments. My fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions.
So I don't want this to be like getting louder and shit like that, because that's kind of fucking up with the lead vocal. The fact that the lead vocal is already perfectly consistent, if I got this background vocal coming in and pumping it up, it's just gonna be all over the place. Now sometimes you can use that as a cool effect, but this ain't the track, homeboy.
We get crossed, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. Knitting my fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Never doubt.
So it's not even that much. It's only like a fucking dB, you know? It's just a dB. And it's really just the ones that are getting out of hand, you know, the bad actors, the bad kids, all right, are the ones that are being put into detention. All the other good kids who are like in a good volume, they ain't even getting smacked around like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, after that we have the C4. I just use this because this also makes it consistent too, using this preset vocal. I don't know why, but it just makes it sound consistent.
Knitting my fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Knitting my fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me. Knitting my fault, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions.
So it's like if I had chicken tenders and I hit them with a hammer and I pulverized them. At that point, okay, now my shit is so flat, I wanted to cut through because I've already literally dynamically controlled the shit out of these ends. Now I'm bringing in a little bit of Spectre just to help them cut through, and I wanted them to have a little bit of air. So they could just random bitch, random shit, and that's also gonna hit the reverb too, you know?
Get crossed, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. We get high, we get lost, we get fucked up. New stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Never doubt my assessment. New stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intention. Get crossed, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. Get crossed, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah.
So I actually picked the Space Rider reverb. You could use whatever the hell the reverb you wanted, but I just kind of wanted a break from like Valhalla sound. So that's why I just ended up fucking using the Space Rider.
Get crossed, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. Get crossed, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. We get high, we get lost, we get.
And it's like how I always talk about. I want my background vocals to be having separation, so that's why they're not sharing the same reverb as the goddamn lead vocal. Okay, so that's the reason why you separate and you connect shit through the auxes, and also if you give them the same exact reverb or type shit like that. That's how you glue. That's how you glue your fucking mix, bruh. And then after that, I just want to add like a special effect, so I just use like this lo-fi plugin. You could use whatever you want, retro color, some shit just to make this reverb sound different and more down-sampled. And I like bringing my sample rate down right here too because it just makes it sound more like fitting into the music.
Get crossed, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. Fall, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Fall, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Fall, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions.
So the other one has a crappy, shitty ass sample rate. It's like I'm putting a nice Instagram selfie in front of you, compared to like a Polaroid picture from the 1960s. You can tell the difference when the pictures were taken, obviously through the age, the grain and the texture and shit. So that's another way I added that separation, and I put in the RVox just for mostly the gate. That's it. Not even the compression. The compression tightens it up a little bit, but mostly the gate though.
Fall, got a brand new stitch, cutting withdrawals with a brand new bitch, feeding me all the true intentions. Never doubt my assessments. You know you rocking the best away from him. That energy best all over me, yeah, yeah. Knowing I'm long enough, never not sober. Headlights and driveway, you said to come over. If I'm still fucked up, borrow my soul, so she called me a donor. Lended her more and I made her a moaner. If I'm too numb, then it's all on me. Youth and borrow my soul, so she called me a donor. Lended her more and I made her a moaner. If I'm too numb, then it's all on me. Youth and pain is all I bleed. We get high, we get lost.
Let's put this hoe at the bottom. Next. Sorry. I just wanted to do that. We got the fucking distorted ad-lib. I just wanted to do something special here, like a distorted ass ad-lib, you know.
But yeah.
Like just create a brand new fucking one shot, you know, just kind of letting the listener know, hey, the song is about to be over. You know when you watch a movie and the credits start rolling?
But yeah.
How did I create that pumping style ad lib? Let's look.
But yeah. Like let's teleport. Yeah, let's teleport.
You know, like what does teleporting make me think of? Like blip, 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 blip. When somebody teleports like Star Trek. So that's why I brought in the motherfucking tremolator to bring in that type of sound.
But yeah. Let's teleport. Yeah, let's teleport. But yeah. Let's teleport. Yeah, let's teleport.
So just like a distorted style ad lib, and I use CLA effects. Real basic ass shit, man. Quarter note delays. Fucking, I didn't even touch this shit. I just turn this off. Telephone effect, moved on.
But yeah. Let's teleport. Yeah, let's teleport. But yeah. Let's teleport. Yeah, let's teleport. But yeah.
When you think of teleportation, you know, like when I'm talking about Star Trek, when that when a nigga start teleporting, or even Dragon Ball Z, when a nigga start teleporting, like parts of them starts to disappear and shit. So that kind of like triggered me to do like a little tremolator ass effect, because that's what teleporting make me think. So that's what I did. We did use the Valhalla vintage non-lin, like how I talked about when you want to make something like fucking weird and goofy, little brother, you use the non-lin, and You know, that's what I use the non-lin. Sometimes I break the rules. I did a 4-second non-lin.
Oh yeah.
So I give you that rough ass ad lib. I give you that rough ass ad lib right before I gave you that intro ad lib, which, come on, dude, it's the same little chain we had, you know, just used again. So it's like you got, as an engineer, you're showing the real estate, right? You showed off the whole apartment. Now you're back at the front door, right? Because this was the front door. Throughout the whole song, I showed they ass what the apartment looked like. Now I brought their ass back to the front door at the end of the song. So you just made them wait the whole entire song just to hear that familiar sound again, right? So, you know, it's just a little bit of candy. And, you know, I did use the little micro shifter. I could have used the Valhalla delay, but I just wanted to do something different and quick. And sometimes you want to use a plugin that don't got too much options, so I just use this to stereo spread that hoe.
Drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah.
So just a basic bit of spread, nothing crazy. All right, let's bring that down to the bottom. Next is going to be, what is this? This little chorus style ad lib I did with a throw.
Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. We get high.
Swear by Jason bag of lies.
Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. We get high, we get low.
So yeah, usually in the mix, I would probably give that shit a little bit of a different timbre, you know. So you know, I kind of would extend the fucking high end and shit. But yeah, I use this right here to make it cut through.
Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah.
Okay, so you can use a little boosting EQ, then a fair day to keep it in place.
Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah.
Take these drugs with me. Boy, back alive.
I use this little Lossy plugin right here because it just gives a nice little bit of distortion.
Boy, back alive.
Like a little, just a weird, you know, just a different texture, you know, because this one is a dark radio style ad lib too, but it's got a different feeling to it. I use Valhalla Ubermod. I usually use this just for the chorus. If you guys were to buy this plugin, maybe you don't have to rush yourself to buy it. It's a dope plugin with a lot of chorus effects and stuff. Ain't much to talk about with this shit. Just know that it has a dope ass width button. You know, pretty much, yeah, it has a dope width button, and I usually just like to use the presets. I'm not gonna sit here and cap to y'all and say, oh, I be using it like this, and that. Like, nah, it's a pretty cool plugin. I just mostly use it for the choruses, and I mostly use it for the flangers, and yeah, texture and tone, and it's just a different bit of pace from other chorus plugins. Yeah, so it just does some weird shit, you know. Yeah, so that's just pretty much just little whispering style ad libs.
Do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport, yeah. We get high.
Take these drugs. You feel me? It's like if you at a party with a friend and they say, "Oh, drink a little bit," and then you drinking it, and then now they doing drugs. It's like, come on, just take this drug, man. You know, it's just that tone, that smooth, man, just persuasiveness. Is why I brought in that Valhalla Uber nod. All right, next, last one is just like crazy, like little doubled effect.
We get cross, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah.
So first thing I did is I ripped out the center channel so it doesn't clash with the lead vocal. Let's just stop right here. So yeah, let's create space.
Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah.
So that just kind of creates that hole. And I use the SSLE. I added a little bit of analog juice right here. I use the gate to just take out some noise, make it sound really tight as well. And then I just use the brown knob just because it gives a different type of saturation. I use the extra wide button too to spread it even more.
Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah. wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I mostly use it just to crush the shit out of it with the limiter, and you hear like the volume is way lower and shit like that. So I just used it to crush it right before I put it into this reverb and shit like that, which is like a super bright reverb.
Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah. Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport.
After that, you can do some different things with the trying to get to spice up your reverbs. Then I use the futz box.
Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah.
So it's just doing like distortion and running it through like an old phone impulse response. So it's just making the reverb have a different fucking texture, just something different. And then just to get that perfect sound, I just used a little bit of soothe to rip out that dirty harshness.
Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah.
Then to get it to stay all in place at L2, just a limiter.
Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah. We get crossed, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's. We get crossed, we don't wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's.
So I just used a little bit of that limiter to just kind of like bring up that low level detail of the reverb. So that's another great way of bringing that up. Sometimes you can use a short ass reverb time, like a super short time, like maybe like a second or some shit. And then you throw on a Waves MV2, is it not gonna let me pull it up? You throw on a Waves MV2 and then you pull up low level detail, and that will make the reverb sound like longer than what it actually is, because now you've brought up that low level shit. Even just compressing a reverb will make it longer without playing with the time. Then I just did another fucking sample rate shit, just to kind of like glue shit together. The glue, like the ad libs or these dubs, just to glue them together, my nigga. You feel me? And just to make them sound shitty,
Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah. Wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like wanna do this anymore. Take these drugs with me, teleport. Like let's teleport, yeah.
Whoo. So yeah, now next thing we're gonna go over is the beat. We're gonna go over the beat, and then we're gonna go over the mastering chain. And yeah, those probably should be pretty quickly. I'm not gonna cap. I might just maybe put them all into one video too. But I'll see you guys in the next episode.